and today I am reviewing TheaterWorks Hartford's production of Sandra, written by David Cale, with music by Matthew Dean Marsh, directed by Jared Mezzocchi, and extended through June 27th at TheaterWorks Hartford at 233 Pearl Street in Hartford, Connecticut. Go and discover more about the work I do by visiting my Patreon page, where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support this show as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Thank you to all my patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones.
I can't explain it. Something is telling me to go back to Mexico. I wander around Puerto Vallarta, looking for someone who, in my bones, I sense isn't there. This is Sandra. Are you there?
This seems to be the season of one-person shows up here in Connecticut, as this is the third one in a row that I've reviewed. And though the other two, Amigon and 2.5 Minute Ride, are both great productions, Sandra is just amazing, as it disarms its audience before clenching the tension around you like a vice until its devastating climax. The titular Sandra, played by Felicia, runs a little shop in New York and spends time with her gay friend Ethan. When Ethan fails to return from a vacation to Mexico, she, against the advice of the FBI, travels down to locations like Puerto Vallarta and Cozumel in search for him. Her efforts are momentarily subverted by passion when she meets a handsome young man who she instantly falls for. There are certain mystery thriller conceits that are prevalent throughout the play, like Sandra's ability to afford multiple trips to Mexico, and revelations about people that she meets along the way. They're tropes that people who enjoy thrillers, particularly those of the Hitchcockian tradition, will find familiar. Though plot points feel familiar, and I dare say a bit cliched at times, the execution is done so well that it feels more like a comfortable pair of slippers than something stale or decaying. And that is the trick with a show like this. How do you take a familiar art form and make it feel engaging and entertaining? Flipping the script by having a female lead instead of the traditional Hitchcock leading male gives it some freshness. Instead of a Cary Grant type running around like North by Northwest, we have a woman who goes on these adventures, traveling to exotic locations and falling in love with someone who knows more than they initially let on. Another is the timeliness of the topic, as Mexico is still considered by the U.S. Department of State as a country that requires increased caution when visiting areas like Cozumel, and recommends reconsider visiting Puerto Vallarta entirely. Then there is the amazing performance by Felicia, who gives her entire body to the role, from the passion she has for finding Ethan and giving herself over to her lover, to the fear of losing her friend and maybe even her own life in looking for him. Though there is a music credit for Matthew Dean Marsh, this isn't a musical. The prominent credit placement is significant, though, as the music plays an important role as Sandra listens to music written by Ethan throughout the story to ground herself. It's a beautiful, sensitive, modern piano score that fits into the narrative nicely. Camilla Tassi's video design also elevates the production. Coupled with Marcelo Martinez Garcia's simple set design, the videos are projected within the sides of a box that make up the stage. On its own, the box design is tiny and somewhat claustrophobic, but the video elements create an immersive environment for Sandra, from open sandy beaches to contained office spaces. Sandra is a powerful story of desperation, hope, and resolution as we follow our heroine struggling through the horrors of losing a friend and the determination of finding an answer in a world where answers are hard to find. If you're a fan of Hitchcockian mysteries filled with lust, deceit, and mystery, Sandra will be a delight. But I'm only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Sandra, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be a link to my Patreon page, so visit that as well if you'd like to support my channel. You can also support me by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review is Rock of Ages at Sharon Playhouse. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.